Welcome to Around the Bases, the pop culture and sports podcast with your host.
Charlie Seymour.
And I'm Tim Sternberg. Hit it, Nick. All right, welcome back to another awesome edition of Around the Bases, the pop culture and sports podcast. Charlie, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You know what, dude? I'm good.
I can see how good you're
wait,
doing.
what's happening?
I can visually
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. You visually see it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
uh for our listeners who are only listening, Tim is wearing a very vintage throwback, awesome looking Mets jacket
There
that
we
has
go.
a bunch of years and on it
Yeah,
and World Series patches, and
yeah. It's
it
Cooper
goes
style
real well with the
collection.
Simpson shirt.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite jackets. It's lined in orange and blue. Just trying to get into the spirit of things. Even though the Phillies trounced us today, I will say we trounced them yesterday, and we're doing pretty well. Did you see that Eddie Alvarez pitched today? It's a bad game when they bring in the new guy to pitch a game. But yeah.
Hey, save the bullpen an inning, right?
100%. Yeah. And especially this time of year when we're doing a playoff push for sure. So yeah, today's a momentous day too. I must say, we've talked about this in the past, but I want to, put it on record. 1 year ago today, we flew to Atlanta to do this crazy show, and we met. We didn't meet 1 year ago today. I think we met the next day, if I remember right. Right? Is that memory
So
serving?
so East Coast time than it's today.
Oh yeah, let's see. We're recording this Saturday morning, so yeah, it's today, and yeah, we met. We go into the studio. We were all at the True Hotel, and of course, the show I'm referring to, folks. If you don't know already, I don't know, haven't been listening to this podcast, but it's We Are a Family. So 1 year ago today, we all flew to Atlanta for 2.5 weeks to film this game show. So it's kind of cool day. Definitely cool. It was a great experience because I met, like we've said before, you and a bunch of other people in the True Crew.
Yeah, I can't honestly. I can't believe it's already been
How
a year.
fast?
Honestly, it's pretty wild.
Oh, I know. I know. Speaking of pretty wild, and speaking of baseball, I'm trying to get into that baseball. I messed up yesterday, Charlie. Yesterday was Thursday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday
I
was
I know
Thursday.
I know you could have witnessed history in person.
I'm such
All
an idiot.
sorts of history.
Dude, I am such an idiot. If you're living under a rock, or you don't follow sports, yesterday something very momentous happened that I'm gonna let my
No, just
co-host
just
share.
living under a rock, because even if you don't know sports, you know who Shohei Ohtani is right now.
Shohei Ohtani, I
Even my
mean,
mother knows Shohei Ohtani, and she doesn't know anything about baseball.
Shohei Ohtani is a multi-generational player. I'll start with that, and I
He's
know
he,
you'll
he's
agree.
he's the greatest baseball player in the history of the game. We're
I
watching him
mean,
right now.
yeah, Babe Ruth, sit down. Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, sit down. Lou Gehrig, sit down. Seriously, this is the and the funny thing is he shouldn't win MVP this year, but we could talk about that. But yes, he is
We'll we'll
definitely.
we'll see after he added
I know.
point .7 F WAR in one game. And then, just in case you weren't sold, he homered and stole another base
I
tonight. So
know.
he's now 52
Um.
52.
All right.
About a week ago, I was right there with you, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough to
Oh,
not give
stop
it
it!
to him. It's
Stop it!
getting to
I'm
the
losing,
point where,
Charlie.
I mean,
So,
he might finish 55-55 at this rate.
dude, so I just want to open up about why I am so stupid. For those who don't know, I live in South Florida. The Dodgers played the Marlins yesterday at Marlins Park, and I could have been there.
Shohei
That's
played
where
the Marlins.
the history happened at Marlins Park, and I could have been there.
Shohei beat them by himself.
He did. He really, really did. To the point where this is where the respect happens, right? The manager of the Marlins don't walk him. don't skip Shoemaker, I think it is. Don't walk him. They pitched to him because they knew how important that was, and um, he did it. And so Charlie, you're the more I love baseball, but you are definitely the more baseball literate person than I am. Explain to the listeners what exactly happened yesterday.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. Well, just from an individual achievement standpoint, he had one of the single greatest games, arguably, for a hitter in the history of baseball. Then to add in the fact that it was to go 50-50 for the first time in the history of baseball, they also clinched a playoff spot the same day. Like there's so much going on at the same time. It's
What does
he
50-50 mean?
he has 50 homers and 50 steals. Except now he has 52 homers and 52
It
steals.
does. It's not a 50. It's
His
more than a
he
50-50.
he
Soon it'll be a 60-60.
that see no he is otherworldly hot, but I'd be shocked if he gets to 60-60.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because
But
their lead is 4 games. You might not want him to play every game the last series if they've already won the division. You might want to give him a day off. We'll see.
generous. Yeah.
We'll see.
Um,
But
it's incredible
he had 17 total bases. So in the game, he was 6 for 6, 3 homers. So total bases for the novice baseball fan out there. Each hit is awarded the number of total bases in which you reach. So a single, you get 1 total base, you reached first, double, two, and so forth. So in order to get 17 total bases, and mind you, he only, and I'm going to say only in air quotes, he only hit 3 homers. So 3 homers gives him 12 total bases, right?
mhm.
So then he doubles 2 more times, 12 and 2 and 2, 14, 16, and then a single for 17. And then I don't know how deep into the game you were watching and some of the stats, but I believe it was his second double. He hit into the left center gap and he tried for a triple and was thrown out at third. He was this close from a cycle 18 total base game instead, which would have been even crazier, but
What a
nonetheless,
badass. And
crazy.
he was right. You know what? He goes for it. Yeah, I'm so jealous of the
Honestly,
Dodgers.
when
I
I
really
saw the
dislike
the
the
ball the
Dodgers.
ball hit off the bat, I said, I don't believe how is this not a triple? And then
Right, right.
bam.
We have mutual feelings about the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you can't. I don't care what team you root for. Everyone is a Shohei fan at this point. You cannot not be. It double negative. But he's just that incredible. I'll talk to you from a collecting standpoint real quick, and this makes me sad a little. One of the things I do is I buy and sell memorabilia on eBay, and that's supplemental of my income. And about a year and a half ago, I had 5 2017 Bowman Chrome Moho refractors of Shohei Ohtani. So, for those who don't understand, in the United States, that was his very first baseball card that came out. It was before he was rookie years in 2018, 2017. I sold each one. I had four and I had a purple that was numbered to 250. I sold the regular base ones for like $450 each, which was not a bad payday. And I sold the purple probably for close to 1,000. And now those base cards are worth almost $2,000, and the purple is probably close to five. Um,
Wow.
but his market has exploded. I've been selling base Bowman packs. I just actually sold out the last five of them, other than maybe one or two a friend is getting. But those are gone. And I still have a collection of base Otani rookies, like, and I'm like holding on to them, like,
Hold.
yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. He is just like you said, the best.
So
And
my favorite stat of the game is this one that stats put out. So this is crazy, okay? RBI became an official stat in 1920.
oh
Okay.
wow. So before Ruth,
So before
right
Ruth.
before Ruth, I'm very close to
So
Ruth. Yeah.
only one MLB player has had over the course of his entire career
In 100 years.
a game with 10 RBIs or more, a game with 6 or more hits, a game with 5 or more extra base hits, a game with 3 or more homers, a game with 2 or more steals. That one player is Shohei Ohtani, and he did all of it in the one game. He did it in
Unbelievable.
one single game, and no other player has done it over the entire courses of their careers. That's
We cannot stress on this show how amazing that is. To those of you who do not watch baseball, I cannot. I'm trying to find an analogy in another kind of medium. I just can't find it. It's almost like watching Rembrandt paint his masterpieces live. That's the best way I can put it. The best actor of all time who's no longer with us performing live, and that doesn't even meet it. um Jesse Owens in the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. I mean, it's just that big and significant.
it's
Yeah.
we. I've said it before. If Shohei is playing in your town and you get a chance, you got to go see him play once.
What'd you say?
In general, you've probably seen him play in person
I
before.
have. Last year I saw the Angels, and luckily Trout was not injured at the time, so I saw both Trout and Otani in the same game. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love the fact, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's now in the National League, so we get to see him more often, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think the Marlins played the Dodgers a couple of times.
And now
Um,
with every team playing every team,
yeah,
even at the worst, you get to see him once a year. Every
yeah.
other year, it's in your park. So
I mean, it's basically akin to, and again, I believe he's better, but it's akin to, Babe Ruth at the time. I mean, you get Babe Ruth was so good, folks. If you don't know this, at the time in the 1920s, he in the off season for baseball, he did a barnstorming tour of towns that didn't normally get baseball around the country because that's how high the demand was for Babe Ruth. That's how popular Babe Ruth was in the 20s and 30s. That's Shohei. I mean, there's not one fan. I mean, the Marlins, for goodness sakes, last week, and I shared this with you, Charlie, the Marlins used an advertisement to get people to come to the park because they basically traded everyone away of significance. And the whole advertisement was about Shohei Ohtani being at Marlins Park. I mean, what
yeah,
team does that? What team like uses another team's player that this owner, who's cheap as anything, will never sign a player of?
Shohei is truly generational.
Yeah,
He's
you
making
will
other
never,
teams
you will
advertise to
not
him.
see. Yeah, exactly. You will not see in your lifetime another player like Shohei Ohtani.
Nope.
It is that he is that special. And it's not just about the pitching in the bay. It's not even, it doesn't even stop at the fact that
He's
he's a
not even
great
pitching this year.
pitcher and he's a great batter. It's not even about that. You're right. He's not even pitching this year. It's about him as I just can't explain. He's magical. I mean, for all intents
He's
and
a
purposes, I
unicorn.
don't know how else to see it. A unicorn is a good. I like that. It's a good description. So yeah, definitely check out Shohei Ohtani. I wish him the best. I do not wish the Dodgers the best unless they're playing a team that I need them to win or
They're
you
gonna be
need them
must
to win.
watch. They're gonna be must watch this October because as I don't know if you
He's
know
he's
this,
itching
but
for a World Series win. He
he
wants it.
he's itching to play in the playoffs. He's
Yeah.
gonna break
The
the
Angels have not done this.
he is the answer to the major league player who's played the most games without a postseason appearance. That answer is Shohei Ohtani, and thank goodness that can come to a
And
stop this year.
speaking of playoffs, the Dodgers yesterday clinched the title, the berth in the
A
playoffs
spot, yep. So did
spot. Yeah,
Cleveland.
Cleveland did, and so did Milwaukee a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Boo, boo.
The
Um,
Phillies, I believe, also, right?
what?
I think not the division, but I think the Phillies are in as
I
well.
know, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Mets. I
Mets are
mean,
still
did
looking
the
good.
Braves
Looking
lose? Did
real
the
good.
Braves lose
The
today?
Braves did
Yeah, see,
lose.
that's good. That's good.
So the Mets are still up two with
How about the
tiebreaker.
Diamondbacks?
Diamondbacks won.
Mm,
Diamondbacks
okay,
won.
all right.
But
But
they still
that's okay.
play the
That's okay.
Brewers the rest of the
Okay.
weekend. So Brewers will probably
Yeah,
split it.
and honestly, the only difference is depending on the spot, it's just a matter of who you play in the play. I mean, it's a matter of,
Right.
and honestly, and people come. I've seen Mets fans like, oh, we don't want to play them. Eventually, you have to play everybody if you want to get to to the World Series. You have to go through all the big
If
teams.
if the Mets finish six, you know who they would get it
The
most
Dodgers.
like. Oh, is that who they would? I was
I
thinking
think
they'd
it's
get.
either the Dodgers or the Phillies.
I thought they'd get the Brewers.
Oh, the
Are the
Brewers.
Brewers pulling
That
ahead?
would be my preference would be for us to play the Brewers.
I mean, it's a short little drive from here.
But we have proven this week
Oh yeah,
though.
Milwaukee's 4 games behind both the Phillies and the
Oh,
Dodgers.
okay.
Milwaukee is going to be the 3 seed.
So here's the thing. We've both seen that the Mets can definitely defeat the Phillies on any given day. I mean, yesterday was a point, and the Phillies can defeat the Mets on any given day.
It'd be a good
Pitching
series.
is
You're very
important.
familiar with each other.
Pitching is
I don't.
very important.
Yep.
I think I would like to even say I think the Mets have a heart more to win than the Phillies do, only because this is not this is pretty much the last couple of years standard for Philadelphia to be in this position. And the Mets have really struggled and fought. And I think they definitely have the heart, you know, thing. So we'll see what happens. Um, Speaking of baseball, I want to share one more thing before we move on to another topic. Our mutual friend and fellow castmate from We Are Family, Rob,
Oh
sent was
yes, he
that
sent you stuff from the Hall of Fame,
yeah,
right?
he was at the
Let's see it.
Baseball Hall of Fame. So they FedEx this to me. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it so much,
That's
bro.
a nice little bag there.
Nice
Hall of
little
Fame bag with the
bag,
logo.
which I will keep because you know me.
Of course.
In there, we have first we'll do this. We have a postcard. It's in, it's in the Hall of Fame bag, even like I haven't been to the Hall of Fame. I mean, I have not. So and it is of the great George Thomas Seaver. It's a picture of his plaque that's at the Hall of Fame. So that's a pretty cool little gift. Thank you, Rob, for sending that out. Appreciate that. Rob, speaking of the Dodgers, diehard Dodger fan. um, see,
And
I was so excited I made
one
my
other
ear.
baseball thing that we've been keeping updates on: the
Yeah.
Padres walked off the White Sox in the 10th, loss 118. The White Sox have
What?
118 losses. They are officially 2 away from tying your Mets and 3 away from owning it all together. And then you're going to be happy because you'll never have to hear that again.
You're gonna be pissed off at something. I was watching. I
You
looked at
you
it.
want the White Sox to win so the Mets
No,
can
no,
keep.
no, 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 no. I definitely don't want that. No, the other day I was looking at one of social media, Instagram or something, and someone had replied, that's just typical Chicago teams." I'm like, no, 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 no. White Sox are in a whole nother league. You don't lump the freaking Blackhawks, the Bears, and the Cubs with that. Don't do that.
Don't forget MJ and the Bulls.
Oh my God. I mean, hello. I mean, who you speak of a generational player, that's basketball. MJ is, I mean,
MJ and
hello.
Shohei.
Yeah. MJ Shohei. All right. So anyway, the other gift he gave me was this awesome shirt. It is, hold on, let me see here. There we go. So it has all the Mets Hall of Famers,
That's sweet.
and the back of it is a list of all of them. So here we go. There we go. They're the Mets Hall of Fame members, and
How
I'll
about
real
this? If you still haven't been to Cooperstown,
I
we'll
haven't.
go when they induct Shohei
Freaking yeah, definitely.
because
Us
that's
and
going to happen. That's a
every other
lock.
American in the country is gonna go. But
That's a
yes.
freaking lock.
All right, real quick. The Mets Hall of Famers. I just have to say this: Roberto Alomar,
Seaver.
of course, yes. Roberto Alomar, Richie Ashburn, Yogi Berra, Gary Carter, Tom Glavine, Ricky Henderson, Gil Hodges, Pedro Martinez, Willie Mays, Eddie Murray, Mike Piazza, Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver, Duke Snyder.
I think some of your neighbors might argue the fact of Yogi Berra.
Oh,
They might
he was
Yankees fans might claim him.
he was a manager. I didn't say he's under the Mets plaque,
Yeah,
but
no, I know.
I know. Hey, I claim Yogi Berra. Duke Snyder, Brooklyn Dodgers. Speaking of Dodgers, Warren Spahn, Casey Stengel, my favorite. Casey, just knock something down. Casey Stengel, right over there. That was fun. You know, that pile of cards, the boxes.
Just went down. Oh no.
I'm not editing that out anyway. So all right, I'm gonna give Charlie a trivia question. You ready?
Let's hear it.
We'll see. I think you'll know this. There's only two Mets that are in the Hall of Fame under the Mets logo. The Mets. They're in as a Met. Who are they?
Seaver
Yes.
and Carter.
You would think Card is actually
Not Carter.
under.
No, he's Expo.
He's an Expo. Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna get it. This player. All right, let me tell you. This player played for the Dodgers
Piazza.
and the Mets and the Marlins. Yes,
Piazza.
Mike Piazza is a Met. He decided to go in as a Met, and rightfully so. We claim him very much. So ironically, we have a pitcher and a catcher under as a Met. Um, oh no, I did Gil Hodges.
You got a
Gil
shot.
Hodges.
You also got a shot at someone you've been watching play for a while. Get there one day.
I think Gil Hodges went in as a Dodger. Yeah, that's right. What? Who? Oh, Pete Alonso?
Or Frankie
Frankie?
Lindor.
Oh, Lindor, yeah. But interesting. Would he go in as a Met or Indian
I think if
or
he keeps
Guardian?
playing under his contract, because I mean, he's
Yeah,
what, 7 more years, 6 more years.
yeah.
I think he could
Um,
be. I think he could be one.
and offshoot. I mean, he's had a lot of injuries and stuff. But if DeGrom got in, he's not really played for
Too
the
many.
Rangers.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
many
I know,
injuries.
I know, I know.
Let's
That's a
see. I
shame,
pulled
right?
up. I pulled up Lindor's page. Lindor played 6 seasons in Cleveland, and two of them were half seasons, basically.
No, he's injured.
So no,
Oh,
because rookie
2020.
year in 2020,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So he's had 4 full seasons with the Mets.
You know, it's just
I
crazy
think
because he was
if he
so
continues it,
synonymous.
obviously, at this rate, I think yeah,
In my
he
head, he's so synonymous with the Indians, Guardians.
he has 138 homers as a Cleveland, 108 as a Met. So he gets that probably by next year in 2 less seasons. And then the steals are close too, 99 as Cleveland, 84 as a Met. So
There you go.
especially considering, he's still
I would claim him. I love Lindor. Let you know, I'm just
what's
saying
he how old is he? He's 30.
30,
So
which is
he's got
crazy.
plenty of years to
Which is
go.
crazy.
He's already
Um,
just about 50 WAR for his career. He's on track.
the person we were referring to that I was referring to is possibly winning MVP is Lindor. He's the only one possibly that could usurp Ohtani, but I will agree with you and concede that that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I
Although
Lindor did
I'd
win
like
AL MVP, I think, right? Didn't
he
he?
let's see. I've got it still open. He did no, he did not. But he's finished
Mm,
in the top 15 6 times.
mm, interesting.
The highest he's finished was fifth in 2017. He's finished fifth, sixth, and then he's finished ninth 3 times in 15th. He's a four-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover, 2 times, 3 times Silver Slugger. And that's not counting this season, which he'll add more to that as well because he's having another great year.
Wow.
He's 3 steals away from 30-30.
I told you, and we've talked about this. In my opinion, probably the best shortstop to ever wear a Mets uniform.
If he gets 3 steals, I'd be hard pressed to know if the Mets have had a shortstop go back-to-back seasons of 30-30. My guess is he'd be
No.
the first.
Yeah.
So he needs 3 steals, and did he play tonight? He was supposed to be close. I actually don't
I'm
know if
not
he played,
sure.
but I know that they said it was possible. He's very close. He's missed the last 4 or 5 games, so that could hold him back from running the bases. But we'll see.
No, he didn't play today. His return is still kind of murky.
Yeah.
He's been injured. For those who don't know, yeah.
And for curiosity's sake, Pete Alonso has 20 career WAR to Lindor's 49.3.
I don't get Mets fans. Pete Alonso's having a damn good year. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, people give them so I don't know, like so weird. All right, so that's baseball in a nutshell. How are the Cubbies doing?
Eh,
Eh?
not eliminated yet, but they're not going to get in. We've known this for about the last 2 weeks, so it's
Well,
okay.
your pain is my pain. That's all I can say. Okay, so let's transition away from baseball real quick and talk about our favorite mutual reality show that premiered on yesterday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. My time is all. On Wednesday, Survivor 47 premiered. Um, I
With a
will
bang.
say with a bang. I found it extremely entertaining
Me
as a
too.
first episode. Like
Definitely.
I was like,
One
this cast
magnificent,
rocks.
glorious episode.
This cast rocks. Like,
That's
wow.
what the title was. I
Yeah.
realized it when I was fast forwarding about halfway through. And then when I heard him say it, I was like, no, why do they have to do that? Right away, we're like, he's voting. He's gone.
So, folks, let me ask you a
As soon as
question.
the tribe lost, we're like, that's
Let
it.
me let me say something, and I'm bracing myself as I get ready to talk about this. If you thought that Crazy went out the door in Survivor 46 when that ended, you said, "Oh, you know,
No.
that
This
Vantu,
is
whatever,
three or
yeah,
Banu.
Banu."
This is 3 or 4 years in a row with
No,
they've
Crazy didn't go out the door. Crazy is still in store. So Charlie is a little behind in me watching the show. Correct me when I get something wrong. And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm digging this cast is so positive, and I'm digging it so far." And I'm like, "Yeah, wait." I'm like, "Wait."
I still stand by that though.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I'm teasing you, but I
Yeah.
agree.
They
But
hadn't
you
shown they hadn't shown his meltdown yet, and then they did.
know, so throughout the episode, we're talking about Andy. I'm going to put that out there right now. Andy. Throughout the
If anyone is listening, watch Survivor. They know exactly who we're talking about. You
yes,
didn't have
they
to
do.
say
They do. Well, I still want to say it.
it.
Um, so throughout the episode, it starts to show that he's, would you say insecure? Was that a word you would use?
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Like, oh, I don't know. And then he gets up in the middle of the night and he's talking to the girl.
They
I forget her
they
name.
didn't
That is
clap for me when I cut my
Coconut.
coconut. Oh, you poor thing. Poor guy. I'm so sorry you didn't
When
get
he said
clapped.
that, I was like this. I was like, wait, what? What you say? What did you say? I'm like, how old are you? Like, what the heck? You need positive reinforcement? Like, what's going on here? And so that's how it starts for me. And this is my ride. I'll take it to Tim's ride of the show. And I'm like, okay. And then we're watching. So his team wins the reward challenge in the beginning, which is crazy. So that's when he's like, oh yeah, they're off to a strong. And I was already at the immunity. I'm like, oh wait. And I'm good. I'm pretty good at not giving spoilers. I try. And so they win, and so I'm like, oh okay. And then they get to the immunity challenge, and they're clearly struggling, right? In the challenge.
Yeah, oh yeah, they were not
I
doing
mean,
well.
literally, so the challenge you have to these giant boxes that you have to put in these boats, and the boats are overloading with water. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. So the constantly overloading, and so the challenge is near an end, right? When they're almost done. And it's clear
When
they're
he's
not going
he's
to
just
win.
laying
He walks to
flat
the
in
side.
the
He
sand.
walks to the side and he just goes, "Oh, I just almost knocked down more cards."
You're
Oh,
not gonna have any cards left standing by the time you're done with this one.
this is the stuff I might be knocking down. If the show wasn't jam packed, I would do an
And
unboxing, but
then
not
Jeff
today.
wasn't sure
Um,
if he was like actually hurt or what. So he's like, wait, do I need to come over and check? And
what's happening?
Jeff's like doing a little dance, going back and forth.
He's like, "Do you need medical?" But
That
here's the
was
crazy
Jeff's
thing.
Emmy moment.
That wasn't even the craziest part.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'll let you go first.
They have all retries at the end of the challenge when Jeff does his debrief with everybody, and he's like, he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna throw John under the bus." You'd say you have a better memory than I do. Recap that part,
Yeah,
please.
he basically said he felt like he was on the bottom and he's number one. He was gonna have to throw under the bus to try to survive, and everyone just looked around like, did he just say that out loud?
Oh my God.
I see. What I thought you were going to say first was while he was having his meltdown, laying down in the middle of his panic attack, he said, "I love you, Jeff," in
Yes,
the
he
middle of
did.
it. I
I
don't know.
forgot about that.
That
That
was
was
just
crazy. And
that was
Jeff is
just
like,
amazing.
"Oh, okay."
He's like, "You are not well, sir. I'm gonna give you. You need to stop talking for a minute. I'm gonna go away so you
And
can
then
have
he
a moment."
started yapping like, "They're going to eliminate me." Well, the tribal, we haven't gone to that part yet.
And then Jeff just left because he's like, "You're causing yourself more damage than need to."
Oh my God. I just, I can't get it. One of the best opening episodes in a while.
Yeah,
But
that was.
again, I only started in last season, but my God, that was good.
You got to think the producers wanted him to last longer than one episode, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought, why? Let me ask you a question. Let's say you're in the tribe, right? Why keep that dysfunction around?
Tribe strength,
But
air
that
quotes.
that can really deter the
Yeah,
tribe
I thought that
because
was a
you're
terrible
focusing all
decision.
your energy on that guy, the
How
baby.
wild was the breakdown though, where is 41 years old and he's
Oh
by
man,
far
the
the oldest.
speechwriter for Obama, by the way.
But he's 41. You're always talking about where's all the old representation. 41, and he's by far the oldest in the tribe. That's pretty unlucky for him. That was just.
Charlie likes to use my words against me, folks.
I wouldn't say against.
All right, you like to use you like to you like to show me my words. That good. No, I know. But yeah, John, by the way, is interesting. In all the previews leading up to the season, he was heavily focused, featured in those.
Of course,
It was
presidential
one
speechwriter, Pod Saves America.
you might not like me or something, whatever that quote he said. I don't even think he said it in the episode. It was just in the promos.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I just interesting. So yeah, John, the speechwriter, is gone, and in the previews, of course, we get more dysfunction with Andy. So this is going to bleed on, and at the same thing with Banu last year, they kept him on way too long. Like,
way too
what the
long.
heck? I think that like I'm like, are they like punking us or something? What is happening? But yeah,
We know who this
I don't
season's
know.
Banu is.
Andy. Andy is the season's Banu, so without a doubt. Okay, so Survivor we'll watch again next week. And so you saw a movie. We'll take a reality break for a minute. You saw the movie I saw, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Don't say it
That's
three
what it's
times.
called. No, it's only called that.
Okay.
So when I first saw it, I saw it probably a week before you. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, like I think it's a great movie. I was afraid when I said that to you that I didn't want your anticipation or your hopes to be higher than
No,
hopefully they were
yeah, it was very well
tempered.
done. They did a great job keeping it to the original.
Yeah. I will say it's not as good as the original.
Oh, I
Would you
mean,
agree?
you knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
They're remaking, or I should say, a sequel 30 years later.
Of course, I had to figure out Jeffrey's character because, of course, in real life, he was arrested for doing some not nice things. So they had to figure out what they were going to do with his character, how they were going to take
That
care of
and
it.
they could not
Uh,
have done that better.
they did it beautifully. Yeah, I love the way they did that. I thought it was well done. I love the fact that it's generational, where Winona Ryder's character's daughter is now like Winona Ryder's character was in the original movie.
Yeah,
Um, and in that little surprise where the spoilers, by the way, folks, I'm hoping you saw it by now, where the guy that she's interested in actually is a demon who wants to take her soul, and
it's
that's the
funny
whole
is
subplot.
it's funny is Jenna Ortega has it
Lovely,
seems like she's not only typecast but in her relationships in the projects because that's similar to Wednesday, the guy
which is
she
also Tim
likes.
Burton. Yeah.
Right. The guy she likes is like the werewolf, whatever. It's like, well, now she's really, and then full circle, Tim Burton, they just said, I don't know if you saw this the other day, he's going to be directing, I think, 5 of the episodes of season 2 of Wednesday.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
Yeah, I love that.
looking forward to
Because
that.
some of the criticism I saw regarding the movie, real quick, I mean, they say Michael Keaton didn't have the energy that he had in the original. I want to say probably what I thought my opinion was is that the characters kind of evolved since the original, and it's more layers to it. It's not as juvenile. Would you
Yeah.
agree? Yeah.
And just like the first one, he is the movie, yet he isn't the movie because he's only on screen for like 17 minutes or something like that,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
oh man, I my favorite scene, I think you agree. They did when they're singing in that
they're
church.
singing again. Yep.
Oh my God, that was so funny. I was laughing my ass off during that scene. That was good. It's just something about it, reminded me of that first, the first movie when they were doing this, and they just it's
Yeah,
not as
it
good
was
as that
well
scene, but
done.
it was good. It was a nice throwback, I think, to the original movie, and without being the original movie. You know what I mean? Without being like, okay, we're just gonna kind of copy off. I think it had a great, in the original movie, you wanted to know more about what was happening in that underground, and we learned that in this movie. I think more so. Jenna Ortega's dad in the movie was one of the dead people that helps. It was good. I enjoyed it. I would definitely see it again. And speaking of seeing it
Yeah,
again,
it was solid.
when's Deadpool coming back on
Disney Plus
Disney
in like
Plus?
a week or two.
That's crazy that
Yeah,
fast. Wow. I'm gonna have to watch that again.
100%.
Definitely.
Oh, 100%.
It's so good. Such a
Probably
good
twice
movie.
more.
Exactly. While it's still fresh in our mind, let's talk real quick about Big Brother. So Jankyland,
Jankie.
and Kie. You know what?
I
You know,
can't
so I
believe she sang that with a live studio
just see
audience.
Julie like this. I was like, what is happening? What is going on at Julie Shen
She had COVID brain.
Moonbez?
She fell for it. If she didn't have COVID for a week,
She was a news reporter. Like she was a news anchor.
I loved how mad they would all be getting every time
Oh, they were
it
so
would come
pissed
on.
off. And the little
A lot of
janky
bleeps. A
character.
lot of bleeps.
But can you listen? They're lucky because basically I heard that there was a major heat wave in Southern California right before they started that twist. I cannot, dude. I can't stay
Right
outside in
before it.
South Florida for more than like 2 hours. I would die. I would be like
Yeah.
baked.
See, as
Oh,
much as I would die with the heat and all that, I gotta say, from a personal standpoint, pizza party and ice cream,
I
like
know.
I
And plus,
mean,
you're a Midwestern guy. I
sign me
mean,
up.
yeah, I know. You're not used to the heat, so I mean, you're like, oh, probably paradise.
One of the few people that would have been pro torture in
I,
Janky Village or world.
so I texted Charlie when the twist began this week, and I go, "Did they copy your menu or what?" I mean, it's so, and they're like, "Oh, sucks. We have to make another pizza." And I'm looking at it like that looks like delicious pizza.
I'm like,
But it
I'd be like,
was
when it was quiet, I'd be like, come on, Janky, tell us to make a pizza already.
so one of the funniest moments of the week was when they just finished nominations and Janky goes, "Oh, dance party," and everyone's like, I love that. I that was funny. Like I love that twist of thought. Where
Yep. Right before. Yeah, that was.
oh my god, and they're like, I don't want to. Of course, I will brag and say I do know who the next head of household is.
Of
He's
course
like
you do.
Charlie's. Of course you do.
None of that surprises anyone ever. Everyone
Oh,
just assumes that like
it's Tucker. Tucker is the. No, I'm kidding.
you have like a screen in your house that's just 24-hour
I
live feed.
don't do that. I am not that. Oh,
No, it's just
maybe.
there. Not that you're always watching it, but if
I'm
you
not
ever need
doing.
to,
I'm not doing. Hold on. I'm not doing that now. Oh no. All right, so next week we have a double eviction on Big Brother coming up. I'm excited. This Had a Household is not going to be able to play in that, which is interesting how that's going to work. We'll see how that
Only in the
twists
first one, though, right?
turns around. Yeah, but the second one is usually off camera by the time they do that because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how
But
that.
you also are burying the lead. Zingbot.
Yes, I know what happens with that too, so I won't.
No, just that Zingbot will be there.
If you don't know, Zingbot is the robot that goes in the Big Brother house every year and says, "You you know, he does these things about the house. I cannot wait to hear what he says to Angela. Oh man. Yeah, Zingbot this week is and I that'll be interesting watching the video of T Core meeting Quinn in the in the jury house. That should be good too.
Yeah.
Um
Oh, that'll be fun.
I can't believe we're
And
just talking about Big Brother and Survivor in the same breath. There is a new show coming out on CBS called The Summit. Eh. I told Erica I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I like to give things a shot, but
I'll let you
nothing about
I'll
it
let you fill
excites
me in.
me. I will, right? Nothing about it excites me. Like, it's basically a bunch of
See
people
that
going up a
that's
mountain.
why we wait 15 minutes to start the episode so we can skip through all the commercials and you don't have to watch a Summit ad 14 times a day.
I have like zero. I'm doing it for this podcast, so that's how much I love this our listeners, but I have zero interest at all in watching the summit. I don't understand how a bunch of people going up a mountain could be interesting. Um, yeah. So there are some interesting shows coming out. There's one about a destination travel show where there are contestants going to a destination. It's called Secret Destination. I have no idea where it is going to be.
Hmm.
That sounds interesting to me. Sign me up. And also speaking of sign ups and stuff, November 21st, Trivial Pursuit, my episode is going to air at 9 o'clock, which is really cool. A week before my birthday. They saved it for sweeps. I wonder why. No, it'll be fun to watch. It'll
That'll
be
be
fun to
awesome.
watch.
November
Yeah.
21st. Is that 8 o'clock Chicago, nine
Nine,
o'clock
eight
Eastern?
o'clock Chicago time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know if my episode part of the episode is going to be on at 9 or 9:30. So, there's two half-hour chunks.
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
if
late.
they show it as they filmed it, it will be the first half hour.
Good to know.
So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, cool stuff.
Speaking of shows that air on the later side, how about the Anonymous this week?
Ooh, I love it. Charlie with the transition. Good job. I like it. Wow. Ooh, some balls to get rid of the big brother Xavier. Wow. And it was a female who got rid of Xavier. But
Yeah,
yes,
she had the
what
power.
what did you think? I thought Chris would go before Xavier. I was surprised.
I think that's the thing about this game. All it matters is
Yeah.
who's in power and who they
Who's the
want out.
anonymous? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the
I
episode though was crazy. There were lots of twists and
Oh
turns.
my God. Like,
The
first
whole
of all,
episode was very different.
there was no challenge,
No
right?
challenge. Straight into anonymous mode.
Straight into anonymous mode, then to the vote.
Then they had 7 of the 9 people up. That was
Lots of people. Like, in the one of the people that weren't even up were the people that are normally
yeah.
in, which is crazy. The Firefest guy. Yeah, oof. So they had their boxes.
This time there were 3 that were safe
Yes, and
instead of 1. And they didn't even give you the answers.
they didn't reveal who was safe and who wasn't. And so now they have to go into the votes, into the decision. And if the person picks a person who has a safe box, there's no elimination. So they got down to two. You remember the two that
Yeah,
were down to?
it's down to Christopher and Marcel, right?
Yeah, Christopher and Marcel. one we know has a safe box and one
and
we
one
has a not
doesn't.
safe. Yeah, of course, right? I mean,
And we know that it's already Marcel, right? They said it's him, but they don't know
yeah,
if he has the
we don't know if
safer.
he's
So
safe or not.
they showed more than they usually do. And then how about also the fact that because of how they structured the game this time, if you decided to steal a box, the person you stole from knew what you had. So
They
you
each know. They know
right.
who's going.
So you have to be 1000% sure on your read, because if you're wrong, that person knows what you have, and if they're the anonymous, it's a free elimination of you. So
It came.
that
Isn't that crazy? It
honestly, I
came
think
down
that
to this.
the strategy I think there was you just have to pick your own box. But as far as who it came down to, see that now that is just the producers decide, because think
Oh
about
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
Think about this.
100%.
If seven of us are up for grabs and you're the one who goes home, how do they decide which of the other six is the second to last? Like, that's what I want to know. How did they decide to put Christopher up there instead of Marcel?
And the
Maybe because
irony.
everybody knew Christopher wasn't the anonymous and the other ones were more up for grabs, maybe, but
Well, I think too, what worked out for them is the fact that didn't they switch the boxes? One of them took the other person's
right,
box.
exactly.
I
Yes.
think that worked out for them. So when Anonymous picked the person, they're like, "Oh, perfect. We know that these two they know the boxes. They of course they know which is safe and which isn't. So okay, each one has a different box,
But
and
they
they're
couldn't
both
talk with each other in
right.
between. So unless he
So
himself was the anonymous,
it worked out real well for production, though, right? I
yeah,
mean,
which we know it wasn't Christopher. So Christopher wasn't the anonymous, because
I think
everyone knows
Marcel
who he
is.
is.
I think Marcel's gone. I think
You
Christopher has a safe box.
you think so? You think he stole
Hmm.
the safe box from him?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. We'll see.
It would have been
That's
crazy. It would
crazy.
have been crazier if
Now Christopher
they both
knows
had a safe one.
Marcel knows what Christopher's box is, but Christopher doesn't know Marcel's because Marcel picked it
Correct,
up.
because Marcel picked up the
Yeah,
second box.
interesting.
Correct. Christopher
Mm,
and Marcel know Christopher's box, but only Marcel knows Marcel's.
wow, wow. Oh my goodness. So yeah, some really great TV coming up this week. We're gonna just new episodes of The Circle dropped. We're not going to talk about that because we haven't gone through them yet. But I will say, real briefly, I'm liking it now more so. I think the cast of season 7 is much better than season 6,
Yeah.
much more entertaining. I'm not bored by the episodes as much as I was last season.
No, yeah,
I don't know
we've
about
only seen
you.
one of the new four, but
It's good.
I
That
enjoyed the
episode is good.
without spoiling anything.
Well, we could talk
I
about that one.
enjoyed two catfishes talking to each other in the most uncomfortable way possible because they both were catfish. So I thought that was just very funny.
So we'll talk. So the disruptor was used, and the two catfishes. No,
Switch
wait. So
profiles.
the two switch profiles. So Rachel, who was catfishing her daughter, is now catfishing a catfish of. It's so confusing, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was who was the person that she switched with?
Madeline.
Madeline, right?
Yeah.
The OnlyFans, of course, she switches with the OnlyFans model.
The best part was when she had to ask her in the private chat, "Can you give me some things so I know?"
And then so Rachel as Madeline is sexting with what's her name? His and was it
With Andy being
Andy?
played
Right,
by
right.
her by
Andy
his
again.
female friend.
Um
Yeah.
so oh my god, that was so good.
So
That was
much
so
going on.
good. And then
So much.
and then when Rachel finds out what exactly happened, and then she sees Andy say, "Hi, it's me." She's like, "Wait, what?" So good.
So
So
good.
good. So good. Oh my god, yeah. So yeah, Circle is definitely much better. We'll have a full recap next week's show, but yeah. All right. So Charlie has a big day tomorrow going to Wrigley. Have a good time, buddy. Seeing
Appreciate it.
Rhino.
Looking
Love it.
forward to it in the W Club.
I love that. Oh, is that like the
Yeah.
fancy smancy?
Yeah, all food and drink included.
Yeah. So it's like the season ending kind of thing.
No, I got invited. My cousin got him from his uncle.
Your cousin rocks. Your
Yep,
cousin rocks. That's awesome. Have a great time.
it's gonna be fun. Looking
Oh
forward to it.
man. Are you watching the game from there too?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, that's incredible. Yeah,
yeah.
have a good
So
time. And it's a
the seats are
bobblehead too.
basically it is a bobblehead. The seats are basically like third base line right off the field, kind of where the bullpens used to be.
So you just have to get
Uh,
there early.
it's on as or whenever you want. If you have an assigned seat in addition,
Oh,
we're in section 5, like 9
you
rows
guys
off
are
the
gonna have
field.
an amazing time. Oh
It's
my
gonna be
God.
awesome. Yeah.
Is this a you just not I mean, you're a Wrigley person. I mean, you just not the
This will
first time
only
you've
be my
sat.
second time in the W Club.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I will share with you real quick. I sat in the suite area at Marlins Park, which is right behind home plate, and it was unlimited buffet food, a big giant restaurant. Like the restaurant's here,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what
the
it's like.
boxes are out.
And they got big
Holy,
coolers with grab
the
and go for
meat, like the
beers and
roast beef, and
seltzers and
I mean,
pops.
it's awesome.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then there's
you're
like a
gonna have the
dessert
best
thing.
time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Erica and I did that. And I was like, it's hard to go back to a regular baseball game
Right.
again after you do that. I'll have a good time, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it. And
Go
then
Cubs, go.
and go Mets. Hopefully
Yes. Hopefully the Mets and Cubs do well.
they keep hanging on. I want to
Yep.
see you guys play October ball
And we'll both be
because then
rooting
we
for
can
them.
clip that episode back in like late April, early May where I basically had to like, hey, relax. I still think the
You
Mets are
remember
a
what I
playoff.
said? You remember what I
Yeah,
said about Charlie and my words?
that one though, that one I think you'll have to do it. Your
I
editing
will
will make
totally
it.
bite it. I will totally listen. And I even said to you today, you're right about something. And real quick, I want to real quick talk because I forgot to talk about that. So Otani hits the ball,
Oh
and the
yes,
ball, we didn't talk about this. We have to
we
talk
did.
about this
Yeah.
because we had a little talk yesterday initially. Go
Yep.
ahead and tell them what happened real quick. So
I basically it started by me saying I was so disappointed that the fan left with the ball because I said, and you can find the exact words, but I said, it's the Dodgers with the face of their franchise. You know they do right by him. They've got unlimited pockets. I'm sure they made a huge offer to him in addition to all of the, the meet and greets and then the autograph and all that. And then all of a sudden, late tonight, it came out that the Dodgers offered him $300,000 in addition to the meet and greets and all that stuff, and he turned him down. I'm sorry, but like I get it. You think the ball's worth more than that, but come on, give it to Shohei. 300K is crazy money.
my initial reaction was the fact that, oh, good for him, because listen, these ball players make millions of dollars, life-changing money, etc. And we were talking. I'm like, well, we don't know what happened, right? So I'm like, it's good that he held out. And so Charlie shares with me today that he was offered $300,000 for the baseball, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not right. That he should have. I mean, I told you I would have given it to him for 100K. That's crazy that he didn't even give it. I don't understand that. I think,
Yeah,
maybe I'm really, really, really poor, but for me, $300,000 is pretty damn life-changing money. I mean,
yeah,
seriously,
that's
for a
yeah, it's
baseball
disappointing.
dude
That ball to
that belongs in
justice
the
for
Hall of
Shohei.
Fame, that
It
belongs
belongs
in
with
the Hall of
Shohei, and
Fame,
then it
or
can
with
be to the Hall
Shohei.
of
And
Fame on loan, and then they give it back to him. Yeah, that's
dude,
Shohei's baseball.
the only thing Shohei has right now is the bat that he hit with it. But come
And the
on.
cleats with decoy on them.
Right. And the bass. And the
Yep.
bass too. But you come on, whoever you are, you can't you're not okay with 300,000. That'll get you a decent car, and then you'll have cash left
Maybe the
over.
backlash will come around, and then they'll say, "All right,
Do they know who
here's
it is
400."
though?
Yeah, they do. The ball was pre-authenticated beforehand.
But they know the guy, they know the
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Oh,
So my guess is maybe he'll come around. They'll up the offer a little bit more. Guaranteed World Series tickets if they make it.
I could have been there. I've
Little
actually
sweetener.
sat, the crazy thing is
That
that
could have
I've
been you.
actually I've actually sat in that section. I've sat there. I would say it was back in back
The
several
video of the
years.
scrum is pretty crazy. I think I
Yeah,
sent
I
it to you.
saw that. I saw
Yeah.
this scrum. Back a couple of years ago, they called that the Stanton Home Run Club because Stanton would always hit home runs before he traded and went to the Yankees. Bum. But yeah, that was the
Before the
Stanton.
Marlins traded him like they do everybody.
Chris Yelich and JT Realmuto and yeah, everybody. D Gordon. Yeah,
Jazz
don't get me
Chisenholm.
started. Jazz Chisholm, Mick, and Yankee. Anyway, have fun tomorrow, buddy.
Appreciate it.
This has
Appreciate
been
it.
Around the Bases, the pop culture and sports podcast with your host.
Charlie Seymour.
And I'm Tim Sternberg. And until next week, everyone, have fun watching those reality show and sports. Take care. Bye.